4 years, you organized vacations based on school breaks, job commitments, and other people's availability. However, after reaching your 60s, travel dynamics shift significantly in your direction. Ocean voyages transform into one of the most convenient, budget-friendly, and stress-free methods to explore our planet. This presentation will reveal 11 concealed advantages that emerge exclusively past age 60, allowing you to move beyond concerns about being past your prime and instead focus on selecting your upcoming voyage destination. What makes ocean travel different after 60? Some folks still claim that ocean liners are either floating senior communities or endless party vessels. Reality sits far from both extremes and offers much more practical value. Shipping companies recognize that a substantial portion of their clientele exceeds 60 years, leading them to structure much of the voyage around ease, predictability, and protection. This approach doesn't equate to dullness. Rather, it provides quality sleeping arrangements, lift access throughout, personnel experienced with mature passengers, and programming beyond noisy poolside competitions and dance clubs. Consider this significant perspective change. During your 30s and 40s, traveling meant cramming everything into scarce time. Past 60, the focus shifts to conserving your stamina while continuing to explore as much of Earth as possible, and ocean travel aligns perfectly with this approach. You settle into your accommodation once, new landscapes continuously appear, and a complete staff discreetly manages all demanding tasks behind the scenes. Let's explore the particular concealed advantages that become available exclusively after 60. We'll begin with price reductions most individuals never discover. Concealed Advantage 1. Discrete age-based savings you must request. Among the greatest revelations past 60 involves your years becoming essentially a promotional code. Shipping companies don't advertise this prominently, yet numerous operators provide reduced pricing or modest extras targeted at mature passengers on particular voyages. The discount might be labeled as a 55-plus pricing tier or mature traveler promotion. You won't encounter prominent advertising declaring a grandparent clearance sale. However, after inputting your berth information or selecting the mature traveler option during price comparison, that identical stateroom may suddenly decrease in cost or include complimentary shipboard spending money. These offers typically apply to designated departure dates and accommodation categories, changing constantly. This explains why numerous people overlook them. They simply accept the initial quote they encounter. With flexibility regarding departure timing, comparing various weeks and ensuring your accurate age appears in the reservation system can preserve hundreds throughout the entire journey. Beyond this, many mature voyagers overlook their accumulated advantages through membership programs. Elements like mature-focused associations, automobile organizations, and reward schemes you've maintained for years sometimes provide small price reductions or shipboard credits after mentioning them during reservation. Younger voyagers cannot access any of these benefits yet. However, if you've passed 60 and you're comfortable asking whether any age-based pricing or membership benefits exist, you're suddenly utilizing advantages they cannot obtain. Concealed Advantage 2. Calendar control finally belongs to you. Among the most significant authority transitions past 60 is this reality: you're no longer bound to everyone else's timetable. Traveling in July becomes optional rather than mandatory because educational institutions have dismissed, and cramming an entire journey into one extended weekend becomes unnecessary. Ocean voyage pricing silently compensates that liberty. While families remain restricted to summer vacations, Christmas periods, and Easter breaks, vessels fill completely and costs escalate. However, those arbitrary weeks during May, September, October, or even early December bring fewer children, more peaceful ships, and pricing that can decrease by hundreds per individual compared to high-demand periods. That adaptability also transforms the vessel's atmosphere. You'll observe fewer boisterous gatherings at the swimming area, smoother elevator journeys, reduced buffet queues, and significantly more individuals matching your age range and rhythm. The entire environment transitions from collegiate break intensity towards something more tranquil and refined. You can even customize the weather to suit your physical needs. If excessive heat exhausts you, select cooler weather voyages beyond summer's peak. If your joints dislike frigid temperatures, journey toward sunshine while others remain confined to their workplaces. You invested years adapting your travels around everyone else's life phase. Currently, ocean voyaging allows using your personal schedule as the benefit, and it rewards you through both ease and expense. After boarding, you'll discover something additional. Much of the vessel is discreetly constructed considering your physical form and movement capabilities, even without explicit acknowledgement. Concealed Advantage 3. The vessel's design quietly accommodates your physical needs. If ocean travel hasn't been part of your recent experience, you may be amazed by how extensively the vessel is engineered to reduce strain on mature joints, knees, and backs. Much of this engineering is understated, but after you begin recognizing it, it becomes impossible to ignore. Contemporary vessels essentially function as floating inclines and lifting devices. Multiple elevators exist in every bank, broad passageways, and barrier-free access to dining areas, performance spaces, gathering rooms, and swimming zones. Support rails line walls and stairways, handrails appear on both sides, and abundant seating exists for rest when needed. Staterooms represent another significant element. Numerous vessels feature accessible or mobility-conscious accommodations with broader doorways, expanded floor area, walk-in showers, and additional support bars. Even without requiring fully wheelchair-accessible quarters, requesting accommodation near elevators or amidships where motion remains gentler can significantly impact how you feel by the fifth day. Beyond the stateroom, you'll encounter designated seating zones in performance venues for individuals using canes, walkers, or wheelchairs. Port activities often receive activity-level classifications with selections specifically created for simple walking or minimal stair climbing. None of this receives promotion as exclusively for mature travelers. However, if you've surpassed 60, you gain from every element. You're moving less, exerting less effort, and preserving your vitality for genuinely important matters like investigating ports and appreciating performances. If physical complications arise, another benefit exists that most terrestrial journeys simply cannot provide. The vessel's medical facility sits merely several decks distant. Concealed Advantage 4. Medical support exists just floors away. During typical trips, if you begin experiencing illness in lodging or rental properties, you must determine where to seek care. Does a nearby clinic exist? Will the transportation driver comprehend you? What duration will you spend in a waiting area? That ambiguity alone creates stress when you've passed 60. On ocean voyages, assistance is integrated into the vessel. An onboard medical facility with physicians and nursing staff treats everything from digestive ailments and twisted ankles to circulatory concerns and unexpected vertigo. They encounter numerous mature passengers annually, making them accustomed to addressing age-related issues and pharmaceutical needs. The medical facility isn't a comprehensive hospital, and critical emergencies still require mainland treatment. However, having qualified personnel, fundamental testing, and standard medications just a brief elevator journey away provides an enormous protection compared to occupying a random overseas rental. This also enables quick evaluation if something seems abnormal rather than waiting days hoping for improvement. An early simple consultation can prevent a minor concern from becoming the element that destroys the remainder of your journey. Travel coverage remains necessary, and consulting your personal physician before a significant voyage is essential. However, knowing a medical team occupies the same vessel where you sleep makes every port, every ocean day, and every extended deck walk feel considerably less hazardous. Concealed Advantage 5. An integrated social environment at your rhythm. Among the most substantial anxieties people experience regarding traveling past 60 involves feeling isolated or misplaced. On ocean voyages, that concern diminishes substantially because the vessel quietly performs extensive social facilitation for you. From the initial day, programming exists designed to connect individuals without imposing anything. Quiz games, dance instruction, card competitions, reading groups, craft sessions, educational talks, singing ensembles, veteran gatherings, spiritual meetings, solo Voyager meetups, the itinerary overflows with relaxed methods to encounter individuals enjoying similar interests. You needn't be vocal, gregarious, or attached to mobile devices to discover your community. The pleasant aspect involves controlling the intensity. If you awaken feeling sociable, you can participate in collective activities, join a breakfast table, or occupy the bar before dinner and converse with familiar faces you've encountered throughout the week. However, if you awaken exhausted, you can retreat to a tranquil lounge with coffee and reading material, and nobody will pursue you questioning your pool party absence. For numerous individuals past 60, particularly those who are bereaved, separated, or voyaging without their customary companion, this integrated social framework becomes transformative. You're never uncertain about destinations or whether you're welcomed. Activities constantly occur at varying intensity levels, and you can enter or exit whenever desired. As you'll discover next, The vessel doesn't merely assist with companionship, it can also help you bypass some of the most unpleasant queues when prolonged standing no longer remains viable. Concealed Advantage 6. Priority assistance in lines when you actually request it. Here's information most individuals past 60 never utilize. The cruise operator will frequently help you bypass the most unpleasant lines if you inform them of your need. Not solely because of your years, but because of what typically accompanies them: painful knees, problematic hips, equilibrium concerns, or difficulty standing for extended periods. Cruise operators and ports typically maintain systems for passengers requiring extra assistance. This can include accelerated check-in queues, wheelchair or porta support, and smoother boarding and departure processes, but they don't circulate predicting who requires it. You must communicate before the voyage or at the facility. If you know extended queues, standing in security lines, or walking considerable distances presents challenges, you or your booking agent can notify the cruise operator beforehand. At the port, you can also inform personnel that prolonged standing isn't possible and inquire about available assistance. Frequently, they'll guide you toward a separate seated zone or a specialized assistance queue and process you through in a more peaceful, regulated manner. This isn't manipulating the arrangement. It's precisely what the arrangement exists for: individuals whose bodies no longer function as they previously did. Younger voyagers cannot simply claim it from impatience. However, if you're genuinely struggling, utilizing the support isn't being problematic, it's being intelligent, and it can preserve your vitality for enjoyable cruise elements instead of exhausting it in a sweltering, crowded facility. If this is revealing ocean travel past 60 in a different perspective, engage with the like button and subscribe to ensure you don't miss the remaining series. Share in the comments what concerns you most regarding taking a voyage at your current age. Concealed Advantage 7. No driving, no transporting, no continuous packing. Consider every terrestrial journey you've experienced. You transport luggage through airports, into taxis, up lodging steps. You unpack. 2 evenings later, you're cramming everything back inside, departing by 11 a.m., and repeating the entire sequence in the following city. By homecoming, you've witnessed beautiful locations, but your body feels defeated. Ocean voyaging completely reverses that. You roll your luggage onto the vessel once, unpack into actual drawers and wardrobes, and that concludes it. Your stateroom becomes your compact floating residence. While you sleep, the vessel transports you to the subsequent destination. You awaken, draw back the curtains, and a completely new port appears outside without ever touching your luggage again. There's no navigating unfamiliar roads, no struggling with navigation systems, no searching for parking in a foreign municipality, and no carrying your bags up stone-paved streets to some tiny rental. You're not dragging luggage on and off trains or sitting in buses for hours between municipalities just to arrive depleted. For anyone past 60, that's substantial. Your knees, back, and energy reserves don't have to invest half the journey performing logistics. The vessel's personnel manages the demanding work. They relocate your home to the following location while you appreciate dinner, a performance, or an early evening. Therefore, instead of your holiday becoming an endurance examination, it becomes what it should be at this life phase: a comfortable foundation with the world delivered to your balcony entrance one port at a time. Concealed Advantage 8. Surprisingly simple financial planning on fixed income. While working, you could occasionally allocate money toward problems and address it subsequently. Past 60, numerous individuals depend on pensions, savings, or fixed earnings, and unexpected expenses impact considerably harder. That's where ocean voyaging quietly becomes beneficial. On typical terrestrial trips, each day represents a prediction exercise. Lodging, meals, transportation, train fare, gratuities, museum charges, unexpected tourist levies, it all accumulates in small increments you don't anticipate. You can budget, but overshooting without recognition until homecoming remains very simple. A voyage consolidates most of that disorder into one figure. Your stateroom, your transportation between municipalities, most of your food, and your entertainment all bundle into the fare. You know you'll have sleeping quarters, warm meals, performances, and somewhere to sit and relax daily without swiping a card every several minutes. You can also select your extravagance level. If you're cautious, you can bypass beverage packages, maintain included dining, and select affordable or self-guided port days. However, if you enjoy indulgences, you can decide beforehand: one specialty restaurant, one significant excursion, or one spa day. The crucial point is making those selections before you're exhausted, hungry, and positioned outside an expensive restaurant with no alternative options. For anyone monitoring expenditures, it's reassuring to examine one total, divide it by the number of nights, and state clearly what this genuinely costs per day. It transforms a complicated multi-nation vacation into something foreseeable and manageable without sacrificing the enjoyable aspects. Concealed Advantage 9. A protected environment for solo and widowed travelers. Traveling independently past 60 can seem daunting. You might worry regarding returning to lodging after darkness, becoming disoriented in an unfamiliar city, or simply feeling overlooked in crowds. However, on voyages, that all softens because you're inside a regulated environment instead of dispersed across a municipality. The vessel maintains security, cameras in communal zones, and personnel who observe you daily. If you dine in the identical dining area, attend similar programming, or occupy the same lounge, the crew and fellow passengers begin recognizing you. You're not merely cabin 8232. You're the amiable face who prefers early coffee or the quiz regular who consistently knows the cinema questions. If something seems concerning, you're never distant from assistance. Passenger services operates continuously, security patrols, and other passengers remain nearby. You're encountering individuals in communal spaces, not in rear alleys or unfamiliar neighborhoods. You can join dinner tables, sit with other solo voyagers, or participate in collective excursions so you're not wandering port streets independently. For bereaved or separated travelers, this can be a gentle re-entry into exploring the world. You obtain companionship when desired, privacy when required, and considerably more structure and support than you'd possess staying in a random lodging independently. Concealed Advantage 10. Multi-generational journeys without exhaustion. Numerous individuals envision family travel and immediately think commotion, disorder, and grandparents pursuing sugar-energized children around amusement parks. On voyages, multi-generational journeys are structured very differently and can actually benefit you. Children and adolescents have complete zones designed exclusively for them. Supervised children's programs, teen gathering spaces, sports facilities, and programming that maintains them occupied and content for hours. Younger adults have bars, nightclubs, performances, and late evening refreshments. And you receive tranquil lounges, adults-exclusive sun areas, libraries, and peaceful corners where you can sip coffee or cocktails peacefully. You all occupy the same vessel, but you needn't remain attached continuously. Perhaps you join the family for breakfast and a morning excursion. Then you separate for an afternoon rest or a spa appointment while the younger ones visit the slides or the arcade. You reconvene for dinner and the evening performance with everyone having narratives from their individual day. The concealed benefit is straightforward. You get to participate in the memories without being the constant caregiver or expedition leader. The vessel absorbs much of that intensity, provides everyone something to do, and allows you to determine how much or how little you undertake. Instead of returning home depleted from family obligations, you return with shared photographs, inside humor, and the sensation that you actually had a holiday too. Concealed Advantage 11. Experimenting with an extended travel lifestyle. Some individuals attempt one voyage in their 60s and recognize something significant. This isn't merely a vacation approach. It might be their optimal travel method from this point forward. Ocean voyaging quietly provides methods to experiment with that concept without making any enormous life decisions. You can reserve consecutive voyages where you remain on the identical vessel for 2 or more itineraries sequentially. You can attempt repositioning voyages that relocate a vessel from one region to another over numerous days. World voyages and extended segments exist that allow you to witness a substantial portion of the globe in one prolonged journey. All of that allows you to answer significant questions. How does your body manage weeks at sea? How does your financial plan feel after an extended trip? Do you appreciate the vessel life routine, the meals, the ocean days, the rhythm of port then rest? For some individuals, the answer is once annually is ideal. For others, it becomes part of their retirement pattern. One extended voyage every year or two, utilizing the vessel as a comfortable, familiar foundation to investigate new locations without starting from nothing each time. You needn't relocate onto a vessel or transform your entire existence. However, knowing that you could travel longer with structure and support integrated opens up possibilities that might not have seemed achievable when you were younger. Now you've witnessed why ocean voyaging past 60 isn't a deterioration, it's an enhancement. Your years unlock price reductions, more peaceful sailings, additional support, and a method to witness the world without damaging your body or your financial plan. If this helped you feel more assured regarding reserving that next sailing, engage with the like button, subscribe, and share in the comments where you'd prefer to cruise next. Then select the next video on your screen and continue cruising more intelligently. Your voyage is just commencing.